What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Wait What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 99. My name is Bret, aka Enigma911. You can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma911 every other Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can join the chat and on the conversation over there if you're a subscriber. We'd love to have you. If you can't catch it live, that's A-OK. It's over on YouTube and SoundCloud the very next week, where it's broken up topic by topic and put as one big video and MP3 for your amusement. Yes, Moose? You got something to plug? Kitty treats? Last thing, merch store and get all of our swag over there. T-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand. Support us. It'd be greatly appreciated. So yeah, episode 99. Wow. Crazy to think about that, with 100 being right around the corner. But yeah, very excited for that. Very excited about today and today's topics. We got some exciting ones. And we're going to kick it off with probably an excitement level for a lot of people in the Marvel fandom, but we finally got a trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home. Wow. It dropped Friday of last week, just like out of the blue. I know there was some kerfuffle going around about it being leaked with no visuals on like a phone recording, which was weird. Whatever. So I don't know if this was Sony's counter move to be like, you know what, see the real thing and flip out about that. So they decided to put the trailer out, but it looks great. I know a lot of people are hyped and excited for this movie for numerous reasons, especially that big rumor casting mill ages ago of like, oh, so-and-so's in the movie. Oh, this person's in the movie. And then like 800 other people are cast in this movie that we don't know, but like everybody's like, oh, it just keeps piling onto the excitement and the rumors. So anyways, we got our first trailer. Did get some confirmations of casting, got some surprises in casting, or at least as far as I knew. But yeah, trailer was a lot of fun and exciting. So the storyline here, we know from Far From Home, Peter's identity as Spider-Man has been revealed, has been released by a quote-unquote dying Mysterio. Don't know if he's actually dead. Don't think he's actually dead. Been released by him to the world, kind of making Spider-Man out look to be the bad guy, because as far as the general public knows, Mysterio was good. So like, oh, Spider-Man's killing me, his real name is blah blah blah, is Peter Parker, blah, you know, revealing his identity, getting that one last jab in, if he is actually dead, whatever. So we saw that at the end of Far From Home. JJJ comes up on the big NYC like TV screen, reveals that, and plastered everywhere. Seems like this movie is picking up immediately from that point, or at least we're going to get some kind of scene showing the aftermath of his reveal, because we do see him in the Far From Home suit with MJ there, swinging through the city with his identity being revealed, people crowding him, etc., etc. So we'll at least get an opening scene or something like that of him dealing with that. And then I don't know if there'll be a time jump or something of at least like maybe a few months later of him being more still dealing with this issue of obviously his identity being out and all of his loved ones being affected by it, whether it's MJ, whether it's Ned, whether it's Aunt May, whoever. And we'll see the aftermath of that. We see that he's getting in trouble with some sort of lawsuit from the police, or maybe it's just a murder charge of Mysterio with the drones that weren't his, but for some reason they're claiming are his. That's a whole thing. There's some fun rumors there that, oh, Daredevil's going to be his lawyer there. We'll see. Of course, there was, like I mentioned earlier, 800 rumor castings of like, oh, this person's going to be in it. Would it be cool if Daredevil's in it? Yeah, absolutely. Would it be cool if She-Hulk representing him as the lawyer is, and then we kind of have that bleed into the MCU or the Marvel show on Disney Plus for She-Hulk? Yeah. I don't know how they're going to do it, if they're even going to do anything with that, but we see that, and then we kind of roll into him going to Doctor Strange to kind of ask for assistance to maybe help take this issue away, see if he can get rid of the fact that Mysterio has leaked this information. Wong, as ever, seems very against this. Don't do the spell. It's dangerous. It's going to mess everything up. And now we're seeing back more of the the typical Doctor Strange that we knew from his original movie, kind of the cocky, oh, I can do it, I'm powerful. Interesting, he hasn't matured all that much after Infinity War Endgame, but whatever. It kind of makes more fun of this opportunity instead of just like a straight-laced hard ass, like, this is the rule and we can't do that, kind of thing. So yeah, Strange is going to help him out with this. Attempts to cast the spell. He says that everybody's going to forget who Spider-Man is and his identity, which I have a little bit of a big question, or a little bit of a big question. I have an interesting question about that, but I don't know. So anyways, says that. Peter's like, wait, everybody's not going to know? Well, yeah, no shit. That's what you wanted. Interferes. We get the whole plot of the movie and the problem. So yeah, my little question about this. Obviously, he wants the general public to forget who he is. Obviously, MJ and Ned and Aunt May will forget. Fine. Could he tell them again? Yes, absolutely. Wouldn't the Avengers not know his identity either? Like, completely blank out him? I guess you could tell them again, too. But, like, whew, that's a whole thing to tackle. I mean, I guess Iron Man, R.I.P., he's already 6 feet under. So that connection doesn't really matter, but I don't know. The rest? kind of Anyways. So we get the cause of this movie. What's the point? Other than Peter's, identity crisis here. More multiverse stuff. Because this has happened, the spell has now apparently affected the multiverse and pulled this in. Now, this is a big talking point I want to talk about later, but I'll keep going through the trailer synopsis. So anyways, put a pin in that. Multiverse. There, you can see my hand on the video. There. Okay. So multiverse. So because of this, things are now happening. We're getting more of the kaleidoscope-esque visual effects from the original Doctor Strange movie, seeing buildings move and weave in and out of each other. We see this cool Doctor Strange moment where there's a lot of trains that he like duplicates, or I don't know if they're from other realities. I don't know how they explain that. But like going through and the travel and that, I don't know. But anyways, because of this, it's pulling elements from other multiverses into their story, streamline, timeline, however you want to fucking think about this. And we get shown some of the confirmed casting we knew of. We get big confirmation Alfred Molina being Dr. Octopus once again from the Tobey Maguire movie, so Spider-Man 2, he's making his return. He looks great. Cool. Awesome. We didn't see a visual of the character, but we know Electro, Jamie Foxx is confirmed, pretty sure, from the Amazing Spider-Man series with Andrew Garfield. There was a couple shots of lightning bolts being seen, not blue, like we saw in Amazing Spider-Man, more yellow, so I don't think they'll go the cartoony costume from the comics, but he'll have a different look, most likely. So we saw that. We saw something jumping out of the shadows at him, or at least spooking Peter. There's a lot of rumors about that fans are like speculating, oh, it's Venom, or oh, it's fucking Morbius, which that's a weird one. So I don't know what he's spooked by. But then we get the big reveal in a way where I personally said, holy shit. And I feel like a lot of people did too, because I don't remember this name being jotted out there. And if it was, it got to a point with so many like, oh, this person's in the movie. I was like, I got to pump the brakes and stop getting excited, because like there's no way everybody's in this movie. So I'll just wait for, things to be actually seen with my eyeballs and experienced. But we saw a pumpkin bomb from Green Goblin, and we heard the laughter of one William Dafoe. Yeah, awesome. So we get Green Goblin back from, once again, the original Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire, making his appearance. Awesome. Don't see him physically yet, but we did, obviously, like I said, you hear the laughter, you see the pumpkin bomb. Oh my god, fantastic. Cool. Now, there's some other speculation with that last final shot of Spider-Man suiting up in the Iron Spider suit. Man, we're getting our money's worth of this. Just bring that back in every movie. There's a lot of speculation. It's a wide shot, and there's a lot of negative space next to our Peter, Tom Holland, during this shot on the highway. people are like, oh, that's where Toby and Andrew are going to be, and they're going to put the other Spider-Man there. If so, cool. They've done it before in trailers where they erase out people. If you think back to Civil War, when they had the Civil War trailers, I think they erased out Vision and Spider-Man from Iron Man's side during that little charge shot. So, obviously, they've done it before. They could be doing it now. If so, fantastic. That's awesome. But I'm glad they're keeping it secret. We didn't get, like, everything right now. And I guess Tom Holland has gone on record to say this is only the tip of the iceberg, quote unquote. I know, Moose, the other Spider-Man. It's exciting. So we'll have to see. Now, with that, the numerous surprises they may be still holding on to, comes the question of, like, do you want to see more? Yes. Do you want to see more before the movie? Yikes. You know? I don't know. Now, this movie's coming out in December. So as of recording, 4 months. 3.5 if you want to be technical. Do I need to see more? No, I'm already going to see it. I wasn't going to go see it anyway. Yeah, it's a Marvel movie. I'm kind of already invested. 21, 24 movies deep or whatever it is. But yeah, I feel like I know they will. But I don't feel like they really should release another trailer. Like, just, here's what it is. You got the pull value of the Alfred Molina coming back, you know, and obviously the intriguing story. Like, just save everything else for the movie. Like I said, do I think they'll do that? I don't know, because they did wait a long time for this trailer. They did. So they could, and I'd be proud of them. Good job, Sony and Marvel and Disney for doing that. But if it does come out, it's going to be real hard not to watch it. Because, speaking of, Twitter, everybody knows Twitter's a cesspool. Twitter has no chill. People were posting fucking screenshots left and right of everything in that fucking trailer. It is a good thing as soon as I saw Spider-Man flash on the screen of text as I was looking on Twitter that night, I was like, oh fuck no, and I closed that immediately and was able to watch this myself and not be spoiled. But yeah, if there is a second trailer, you know for sure people are going to be doing that. If a Tobey Maguire, if an Andrew Garfield is revealed, if a fucking Emma Stone is revealed, if I don't know, some other villain, Tom Hardy from Venom is in it, you know, if anything is revealed in that second trailer, you know it's going to be spoiled immediately if you're not on top of the announcement and just, you know, catch it for yourself. So it's like, and that sucks. So I really hope they don't release another trailer. Just let everybody go in and fucking have those hype moments in the theater or at home, wherever you decide to watch it, and go, oh shit, you know, kind of thing. Multiverse. I want to talk about the multiverse. Now, this is a whole fucking bag. If you've watched over on YouTube the Marvel Plus podcast, if you haven't, you should go check it out. But if you have, we talk about the MCU shows on Disney Plus, or the Marvel shows on Disney Plus, and how they connect to the MCU. Obviously, if you've been watching those shows or listening to the podcast, video podcast, watching, whatever, you know there's a lot of multiverse shit going on right now. We had some speculation with Wanda. Is she going to be a big thing causing the multiverse in the Doctor Strange movie eventually coming out? We had nothing really in Falcon and Winter Soldier. They were doing their own thing. We had all this hoopla going on in the Loki series where Kang's actually doing the multiverse stuff, or actually has stopped the multiverse to keep everything peaceful and in one timeline. But at the end of the series, Kang's killed and the multiverse does happen, but then he's back in power later. So that's where my big question mark, like, oh, wait a minute, we're doing multiverse now again because of a spell with Doctor Strange? Question mark? Now, talking out loud through this timeline, I might have figured it out. Don't call me big brain. Definitely not. Small brain. So we have the Loki series, right? Multiverses are all happening at the same time, in theory, except the sacred timeline. Hold on. Okay, yeah. So if there was no controls, checks, balances, whatever, there was no TVA. That's the word for it. All the multiverses are going at the same time, doing their own independent storytelling thing, right? Okay, cool. There's no interweaving, except for when Kang rolls around. Kang was smart enough to discover, hey, there's all the other multiverses. How do I get to them? How do I chat with them? How do I interact? Etc., etc. So he starts fucking everything up. Weaving the pools together. Okay, fine. We get the sacred timeline because he realizes this is fucked up. Don't do that. So, in the Loki series, obviously we have the TVA in charge. We have the sacred timeline. Kang doesn't want to do the sacred timeline anymore. He wants to just retire, be done with it. So he leaves it up to fate to decide if the Lokis want to take over, Sylvie and Loki, or if he'll eventually take back over in a new form of himself, because that's how it works. He's the bee's knees, apparently. Obviously, we see the fate of that. Loki ends up in a different timeline because Mobius doesn't recognize him, and the security guard, I don't remember her name, I apologize. And Kang eventually is back in place. Cool. Great. Hopefully everybody's caught up. Hopefully that all made sense. Now talking about this out loud, I think that point at the end of Loki season 1, if we're trying to tell this story, has to be like down the line, phase 4. Like, whoosh, big time jump for when these stories take place. Because if you think about it, these multiverses will not exist if the TVA is in play. There's only the one sacred timeline. Something goes wrong that's off script or out of plan. Kang nips it in the butt, essentially deletes it, right? So, because of that, there's only the one timeline. They can't possibly pull from, connect, whatever other multiverses. So, in order for Strange in this movie to occur, this has to be after Kang, the first Kang, the original Kang, dies, and before the new one takes place in his chair. Now, you could make the argument that time all happens at the same time, so like he would take place in ruling the TVA instantaneously. To that, I have no argument. I don't know, but like I'm trying to make sense of all this. I don't know if I can. But anyways, this movie has to pull from there because there has to be some multiverses to take people from. Right? And that's the What If series. The What If series is a way to demonstrate, like, this is a different timeline with Captain Carter being Captain America, or T'Challa being a Star-Lord, or whatever episode 3 is, because I still haven't watched it. Like, this is just an easier way for them to tell these stories without doing a full live action shoot of it, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's my thinking of how it works. Now the next question, because the Doctor Strange movie is coming up eventually, Multiverse of Madness. If we're doing the multiverse with Doctor Strange here, how are we doing it in his movie? Is it going to be the theory like we thought about, like Scarlet Witch is trying to figure out the multiverse stuff, so maybe she can selfishly pull Vision from a different universe for herself, and she causes this, and then Doctor Strange is like, whoa, bitch, I already dealt with this once with Spider-Man. Don't do this now. I highly doubt that's how the trailer's going to go, but it'd be funny if it did. Maybe that's the case. If so, man, we're getting a lot of multiverses on top of multiverses, like, just reoccurring, brought up. Yikes. But yeah, just my thought, like, how does this all line up in a timeline for the viewing audience to kind of set in stone when things take place? It's interesting. Really excited for this movie. Really excited to see, like I said, what other surprises do end up turning up and happening. And, I mean, they've been knocking it out of the park with these Spider-Man movies anyway. I mean, not to say the other ones were bad. Absolutely not. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was fantastic. I know 3's got a lot of critics, and, you know, I can definitely agree with a lot of those points. And Amazing Spider-Man, I personally loved. Was the end of 2 great? No, we got a rush to a Sinister 6, and oh boy, Andrew Garfield crying up a storm. I get it. Emma's dead. Gwen's dead. I get it. whew, that was to watch. Anyways, not bad. Or, not like trash. They were good. They had their moments. But yeah, these current movies, Homecoming, Far From Home, fantastic. So, excited to see more. Excited to see what else happens. And, yeah, I hope you guys are excited too. Moving on to topic number 2, I wanted to talk about SummerSlam weekend. So, yeah, more wrestling talk for all you wrestling fans. So, not the weekend of recording, obviously, but, last weekend was SummerSlam weekend. So, big weekend for wrestling. We had AEW Rampage. I think Impact had an event. We had SummerSlam on Saturday. We had NXT TakeOver on Sunday. So those events got flip-flopped. So a whole lot of wrestling, a whole lot of things happening. I'm going to talk the AEW side of things in the next topic. But yeah, just wanted to talk quickly about SummerSlam and TakeOver, my thoughts. I know in the past when I've gone over weekend pay-per-views, I've gone match by match and broke down all of them individually and be like, oh, this was good. Oh, this was really good. Not going to do that in this one. I'm just going to talk some key points here and there of like things I thought were great, things I didn't think were great, questions, what the fucks. I digress. SummerSlam, Saturday. Okay. Long event, as the WWE pay-per-views seem to be. 4 hours? 4.5? Maybe 5? Holy crap. Event was good, mostly. I thought the beginning matches were really solid. We had some weird filler matches, and like, why did we decide to do this moments? Like, for example, Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal. Did we need this match? I don't really think so. That was the same result that was happening on Monday Night Raw. Nothing different or exciting there. That just seemed like a waste of time. Celebrity interviews in the back. Why are these a thing? You don't announce these celebrities beforehand, so it's not like you're trying to pull in an audience there. That seemed really dumb. Then we get to the biggest what the fuck, or maybe, well, yeah, in my opinion, the biggest what the fuck of SummerSlam is Becky returning. Great. Love Becky. Love Becky as the man character, mostly. They kind of went a different direction with it that I didn't care for towards her end of her run before she left to be a mom. But yeah, love Becky. She's great. Cool. She's back. Woohoo! Excitement. She comes out after Sasha Banks, for some whatever reason, no explanation, just missed SummerSlam. She's not going to be there for her match against Bianca Belair. Okay. We send Carmella out. She's going to be the sheep of like, oh, she's the one who's going to fight for the title. Why? She's been losing constantly, Bianca. Why? The audience gives no shits. Clearly, the audience hated it. And this was a weird, maybe like, let's push him down so low so when Becky comes back, it's like, oh my God, everybody's so excited. Bold strategy, Cotton, but I guess it worked out. So anyways, Becky returns. Woohoo. Fanfare, everybody's excited, everybody's great. Cool. She comes back and immediately challenges Bianca for the title. Okay, we've been through this before with other returns. I'll take it. I'll bite. Whatever. This match is going to be awesome. We love Becky. She's great. She can wrestle. Holy crap. Bianca's great. We've been giving her the push for the last year. We gave her the Royal Rumble win. We gave her a WrestleMania moment, a main event on the first night. Holy crap. Bianca's been killing it this past year. Sweet. Love to watch her wrestler. We're going to get this great match between these two. All right. Shake the hands. Becky goes, bah! Forearm, cheap shot. And then she does whatever finisher she's doing now. I don't know what the fuck it is. 1, 2, 3. Done. Over. Finito. Finish. What the fuck was that? 25 seconds. 25 fucking seconds. Brock Anderson on AEW lasted 2.5 minutes against Malachi Black. The man was dead. They sent him out on TV at 9:56 p.m. Eastern when the show ends at 10. You knew it was a squash. This man lasted longer than the ladies did. What? Why so much disrespect to to Bianca. And everything you built for in this past year, you want your audience to get behind Bianca. So you have her do an amazing performance at the Rumble. And holy shit, she won it. Audience is like, oh shit, maybe I should start caring about this person. They're getting a big shot, big opportunity. She has a great partnership and working with Sasha Banks. An Elimination Chamber moving up to Mania. Cool. Sasha Banks turns on her. Oh no, Sasha's a big threat that we all love. I hope Bianca can do it. WrestleMania. Huge main event. First time two black women have faced off in the main event of WrestleMania and for a title, if I'm not mistaken. Awesome. Beautiful moment. She wins the title. Everybody's happy. Her family's there. She's crying. Well, she cries all the time, but that's good. It's tears of joy. You know, it makes you really relate. Fantastic. She's been doing great the past couple months pertaining to the title, too. Working hard. You bring Becky back and you just fucking middle finger everybody in the crowd, everybody watching at home, just shit on everything you've built for a year, or, you know, the better half of a year. Why? What are you doing? You're complaining that you don't have these big superstars like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Okay, that sounded mean. Dwayne The Rock Johnson's also. The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, Hulk Hogan. You're complaining you don't have these big stars. And then you do this. Now, I understand Becky's huge. I understand, you want Becky in the forefront. I get that. Totally fine. Totally fine with her winning the title from Bianca. Not against that. It's just, why this way? Why not have her come back the next Friday on SmackDown? Or I guess you could even keep it SummerSlam. Be like, hey, I'm back. I'm going to steal your thunder from your title victory. You don't have to fight for the title there. Hey, I'm back. I want to fight you eventually. Let's do this. Set up, storytell for later. Build the first chapter. In a different way. I guess this is still technically the first chapter. But yeah, the woman's been out of wrestling since Money in the Bank. Not the last one, but the previous one. So longer than a year. And you just come in, 2 shots, forearm DDT thingy, and you're done? What? So disrespectful to us as the audience and to Bianca as a talent. What are we doing? What are we doing? So that was the biggest what the fuck moment. We got some other things. We had Brock Lesnar return. Cool. I'm interested to see how that story with him and Roman and Paul Heyman being, the advocate for both of them separately at times. I'm interested to see how that goes. Roman and Cena was a great match. Good on those guys. Charlotte's champion again, because fuck it. Why not? I mean, I get it. She is the best woman they have, or one of the best. It's the Seth Rollins thing with me, or the Roman Reigns thing with me. It's the constant hole they fall into. It's the same shit on a different day, and I don't care. I just don't. I'm not trying to take anything away from Charlotte. Obviously, she's very talented in the ring. She's, like I said, she's one of the best women they have. But I don't care for her. And, granted, she's a bad guy too, so that's kind of should be part of the stick. But it doesn't mean anything. And granted, they did better with this storyline in that Nikki ASH got a win over Charlotte building up into SummerSlam on a Monday Night Raw. Cool. Make it believable. It's not just Nikki walked in with the Money in the Bank briefcase, stole the title, and then it was deuces, and she's nothing. She's got no skill. No, she got a win there. We got some credibility with her her being in more matches. We had the hardcore match or something like that. Fine. But why? I just don't care that Charlotte has the title. I don't care. It just doesn't mean anything. It's just fuck, she's got the title again. And I guess she is that mountain to climb, but we've already defeated that mountain on Raw, so now we gotta do it again? Huh? I don't know. It would have been cool to have Nikki keep it, just to have something different. See her and Rhea go one-on-one. See her and Asuka go one-on-one. See her and Toni Storm's on a SmackDown, so that doesn't really work out. Who's on Raw? Who's on Raw anymore? Dana Brooke's out because she's pregnant. Natalya? Damina? No, thank you. Please. Shit, who is on Raw? Other for the ladies. Yikes. I don't know. So, I don't know. It just would have been something different and nice to see. So, big question mark there. Maybe we're building the underdog story and then Nikki can win it without being the briefcase. Fine. Like I said, nothing against Charlotte, nothing against using her storylines. It's just like she's always in the fucking title picture. I know she's helping people, but if she wins it every other time, does it really work out that way? No. It's just a revolving door of talent. Yeah. Did anything else happen SummerSlam weekend? Or sorry, SummerSlam specifically that was interesting? I don't think so, because nothing's calling out to me. Oh, I will say this. Stadiums are great. Keep doing stadiums. You want to get a lot of people in there. I know COVID's a whole thing. That's still scary. Not happy about that. But, do the stadiums. You can get a lot of people in there. It's a lot of energy. Fine. Stop doing this fucking entranceway where I can't see shit if I'm anywhere in the arena except for the front rows. Hated it. They've done it the past two Rumbles where they come out like the dugout area and then it's the long hallway path. So stupid. You got like 5 video walls behind them that you barely have anything on there. Nobody knows who's coming out except for those big screens in the center. The Pepsi Vision, if it's Denver, but it's not. Like, they're like, oh, it's so-and-so. Now I know. I mean, or you just hear the music. But, like, I can watch this at home. I don't want to go to a live event to watch the fucking big screen. I want to see it. Put it on a fucking stage. Go down. Don't put them on a flat area where I can't see past 3 people. Ugh. Whatever. Anyways. So that was SummerSlam. Then we get to the big one. We get to NXT TakeOver. RIP, by the way, NXT, potentially. We'll have to see. Got a new logo. Looks cool. So, yeah, potentially the last good takeover of our lifetime for now. We'll have to see. Oh, it's Ballfish. My bad. That sounds nasty. Anyways. So, TakeOver. We get TakeOver. 5 matches. We got... Ooh, wow. I'm already blanking. That's not good. We got Samoa Joe going for the NXT title against Carrion Cross. We had Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly in a 2 out of 3 falls match. We had Walter against Ilya Dragunov for the UK title. We had Dakota Kai versus Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's title. And then we had your opener, which is the $1 Million Championship, which was Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight, not Eli Drake. Excuse me. As Lady in Chat says, the best wrestling match of all time, and it stole the fucking show, was Walter and Ilya Dragunov. Now, I know a lot of people have talked about their first match. Not gonna lie. Haven't seen it. But Walter and Ilya Dragunov 2? Holy shit. This match was awesome. Not high flying, just two men smacking the shit out of each other. High impact, slow paced, good storytelling, on the edge of your fucking seat. Really good match. We saw the mountain conquered. Walter has been defeated after 840 days as UK champ, and Ilya Dragunov is now your new UK champion. I know not everybody's a fan of Walter losing. Had to happen eventually. But man, that match was awesome. stole the show. Now, interesting for me to say that, because I'm not a big fan of that style. And also, some of the names over here on the rest of the card, kind of sad to say they didn't perform at what I thought was going to happen. I thought the beginning of the show, from the opener to Walter and Dragunov, was solid. It was a good takeover. It was what is to be expected from a takeover. You know, not like Dragunov and Walter, they stole it, right? There's always, in the NXT takeovers, there's like that one match you remember, like, oh, that is the match of the takeover. Walter and Ilya got it this time. The first two matches, Grimes and LA Knight, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, were up to par, you know, with the NXT output. I don't know, however you're going to work rate. Totally fine with both those matches. Great job by them. Some funny storytelling in the first one with DiBiase getting involved. And then we had the ladies, which, you know, they did fine. RIP Dakota not winning there. Hopefully she has some more luck on the main roster or whatever's next for her. We'll have to see. After Walter and Dragunov, it just kind of fell off. So the next match we had, which should have stolen the show, to be honest, was Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly in the 2 out of 3 falls. So we had a standard match first. Then I believe it was a street fight, no hold barred, whatever you want to call it. And then it was a steel cage match. I don't know what happened with this match. We've seen these guys perform twice already together. We've seen Adam Cole now for years fucking annihilate it at takeovers, whether it's with Ricochet, whether it's with Gargano, you know, whether it's with Undisputed Era as a whole, RIP. I don't know what happened here. There was a fast, quick fall in the first match. Kyle O'Reilly gets it. Okay, that's fine. We've done that in 2 out of 3 falls. It kind of gets more pressure for the other person to get the 2 in the row. Okay, that's fine. We get to the street fight portion. You know, everything goes fine. We get, obviously, the, you know, kendo shots and chair spots where they're slamming them on there. We got an announcer table segment. I don't know if that was in between falls or if that was after. That was fine. It was just a fine match. It wasn't anything like, nothing stood out as exciting or interesting. So anyways, Cole picks up that one. Then we get to the really confusing part. We're going to do the steel cage. Now, I mentioned this table spot. Kyle's hurt. Ribs are hurt. He's selling it. Great. Good storytelling there. Good job for him. He gets smashed into the table after some doctors come out to check on him. I highly doubt these were real medical personnel because they weren't doing a great job of actually checking things. But anyways, he hits the table. Cole gets in the ring as the cage is lowering. If they were, yikes, yeah. Gets in the cage, mocking Kyle. Come on, get in, blah, 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 whatever. We get this. Cole goes to a corner immediately to do all this taunting and jeering. From this point, we're going to get replays of what happened in the match. Okay, fine. If you're buying time to sell this injury, makes sense. You want your audience to believe that there's something wrong, so you need to kind of delay, whatever. Okay, fine. So anyways, Kyle eventually gets in the ring. I don't remember if Adam brings him in or Kyle gets in on his own. We proceed to go with the steel cage match. This might be one of the fastest steel cage matches I've ever seen. Now, they do the typical smash each other in the side of the cage, you know, do those spots. I think there was maybe one escape attempt. There was a Panama Sunrise off the rope, which was cool. Kyle then proceeds to get handcuffed by Cole to the top rope. So he's screwed. He can't stop Adam from escaping. Genius. Good storytelling. You're putting the good guy in a shitty situation that he needs to hopefully overcome and, defeat the bad guy. Great. Cool. I like it. We do that. O'Reilly somehow manages not to escape the handcuffs, but he was next to the cage wall out on the apron. They're handcuffed. He manages to get Cole in a submission and move his body inside the ring. Not that it really matters his body positioning, but he manages to finagle with the reversal to get into the ring and stops Cole with a submission. Now, submissions, especially if it's the end, typically, pay-per-views, you're going to sell it a little bit like, is he going to give up? I don't know. It's a high drama. We didn't get that. Adam sold it for maybe a couple seconds and tapped almost immediately. And the match is done. Just like that. The audience, all the energy was sucked out of the building, out of them for a second, quiet, and they started to boo. They were not happy. And to be honest, I wasn't happy either. Like, if it was a safety thing, like Kyle was actually hurt, totally fine. I get that. However, as of recording this, I said the events were last weekend. As of recording this, no medical release on Kyle saying he's going to be out 4 to 6 months with this broken bone, etc. None of that. And on this past week's NXT, Kyle was involved and attacked someone in the back. He's fine. It's just really confusing. Why? What happened? Why did we plan it this way? Now, I don't know if it was a time issue. The NXT TakeOver did end at a weird time. It ended at 10:30. I don't know if they were supposed to push it to 11, where the guy's supposed to have more time. I could understand that if there was the injury on the field, but there wasn't. Unless there was a scare. Maybe Kyle thought he was hurt, but then turns out he wasn't hurt. If so, that's shitty. Or if they were overtime. Maybe Walter and Ilya took too fucking long and they were 30 minutes over their time. Which doesn't make sense because you're on pay-per-view, on on Peacock, a streaming service. So, even that's a whole thing. It's not cable TV. I don't know if they still sell regular pay-per-views. Maybe they do. Big question mark there. Big question mark. And the dagger, or the cherry on top here too, is Adam Cole's contract might be up. And we don't know. No one fucking knows. Dirt sheets say, it's up yesterday. It's up next week. I don't fucking know. Who knows anything? His contract's up. And it's pretty out there. People know, especially if you're a hardcore wrestling fan. You look this shit up or are in those news circles. If this was Adam Cole's last match in NXT, and WWE, oof. That's a big yikes. And I don't think Cole would do that. I don't think O'Reilly would do that. I don't think even Triple H would do that to say, fuck you. No. I know if, Adam's leaving, let's say hypothetically is, for AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact, wherever the fuck he wants to go. Let's say he's leaving. I have enough faith in Adam Cole that he's a good guy and he would do the right thing and put Kyle over. If, Triple H or Vince or whoever the fuck's in charge, who knows anymore, is Kyle is the face. He's getting the best out of the 3 of your guys' matches overall. We want to push Kyle. I'm sure Cole would do the job, would lay down, get pinned, lose, etc. I don't think that's the issue here. Why was the match like this? Is it just to... I doubt it. It's not a middle finger to Cole for leaving. They apparently offered him $1 million contract. They like the guy. So many questions that I will never have the opportunity to answer. I don't know. Big disappointment there. And then we get the main event. We get Samoa Joe versus Carrion Cross. Match was okay, to be honest. Nothing super exciting once again. There was one hype as shit moment, and it was the finish. Not because, like, thank God it's over, but Samoa Joe finally brought back the Muscle Buster. Finisher, pulled it out for Carrion Cross, used the Muscle Buster, bam, becomes the first time ever three-time NXT World Champion. So congrats to Samoa Joe. Now Carrion Cross can go play cosplay on Monday Night Raw while they proceed to ruin his character most likely, so that's cool. Yeah, it just wasn't that interesting. And maybe it was layover energy from the Cole O'Reilly match that just put sour taste in my mouth. I don't know. But yeah, if this is truly the end of NXT takeovers as we know it, and that was the last one, oof, not a good note to go off on, and it's unfortunate. But yeah, I know there's a lot of speculation about NXT, how it's going to be treated, how it's going to be used going forward. Once again, these are things I'll never be able to answer because obviously I'm not in the company. I am just a guy in New York fucking watching the program. We'll have to see where it goes from here. We'll have to see how the talent is used, who gets moved up to the main roster, who gets let go if they're letting go more people, if takeovers are even a thing anymore, and how they're performed. We'll have to see. But yeah, that's just my overall thoughts on SummerSlam weekend and things that took place on the WWE side of things. Moving on to topic 3, we're going to talk the AEW side of things. Rampage. Now, I didn't watch Rampage. I was working, so Twitter was my source. I want to talk about CM Punk's return, because holy shit, what a moment this was. 7 years Punk has been away from wrestling and not talking very fondly of wrestling. In these past 7 years, he went on his UFC stint, had one match there, unfortunately lost. He did WWE Backstage and worked for Fox through that. That was cool to see him there, back involved in wrestling at least a little bit. But yes, now he is back and signed with AEW. Has his first match coming up in All Out on September 5th, so about a week's time, against Darby Allin. But man, that return was exciting, and just the energy that building put out, whoo, man, that was something. We had a lot of rumors going into Chicago's Rampage of his return, of his signing. So it was one of those, like, not pure surprise reactions, but it was a lot of anticipation of, like, is it going to actually happen? And, like, all the stars were in a line of, like, it's his hometown, it's a new show, like, everything just kind of, once again, lined up. So it was almost, it's funny, like, leading up to 10 p.m. that Friday, it was like, I know he's back. But, like, it's the little feeling in the back of your mind or your heart that's like, but what if he doesn't? You know, it's not going to happen. He hasn't been around for this long. Like, no, it's just normal rumor mill bullshit. And the moment they go on air, everybody in the crowd was just, like, having it. Like, CM Punk chants. It's very loud. And they were smart production-wise, let those go for about a minute, and they finally cut to it. Cult of Personality on, and the crowd flips out. If you haven't watched this video clip, please YouTube it, please. Flips out. People are jumping up and down, people are crying, people are hugging, people are high-fiving, people are celebrating. Huge pop, huge reaction. The man comes out of the entrance tunnel, just another wave of it. And it was just a moment. Let me just say that moment was awesome, but how awkward would it be if it wasn't true and it was someone else? Oh yeah, that would have been horrendous. I mentioned how the stars were aligned. I mentioned Chicago. Tony Khan, the CEO of AEW, he's very smart with marketing or selling his own show, and he was really aware. He's very aware of things going on. He did some interviews before. I think it was a podcast, Busted Open, for those of you guys who don't know, on SiriusXM. Big wrestling podcast. Go check that out. He talked with them. He talks with them about the card on Wednesday and Fridays during the day before the show that evening to kind of sell it. And he mentioned, like, don't worry. People are going to, like, I don't like making people not happy. I think they're going to like what we're going to do. So I think that was the final tip of the cap, like, Easter egg CM Punk wise, that it was going to happen. We had some other wrestlers from previous weeks during their promos use similar phrases to Punk in the past, like best in the world. We had some t-shirts that people thought were teasing Punk as well, just because it's the initial CM, which I think is a little bit of a stretch, but what do I know? So yeah, it would have been real fucking, that there would have been riots if that didn't happen, if he didn't show up. But they were smart to do it right off the bat, because I can't imagine them going the whole hour show and he shows up at the end. Like, I could get that because you want it, like, that one last moment to kind of like tune in next week. But like, that would have been a rough show the entire time of just CM Punk chants destroying any match that was in there. So smart of them to do at the beginning. Like I said, he comes out the tunnel, gets this huge reaction, and they let everybody soak it in. Punk took his time up there. He's soaking in all the energy at the entrance ramp. Announcers at the announce table didn't say shit for the longest time, which was great. Just letting the crowd kind of let that be the energy for everybody. We saw Punk jump into the crowd at one point because he was so stoked. That was funny. So yeah, really cool to see CM Punk back. I know not everybody's particularly a fan of him, but he's obviously gotten a bigger fan base from his later work in WWE. I mean, I've always been a fan of him with his early ECW work. I know everybody loves ECW, WWE wise. No, they don't. I loved him with that. I loved him as with Kofi being tag champs. I loved the Straight Edge Society. I might not have liked it at the time because he was going against Jeff Hardy, my guy, but he was that group was a great antithesis for Jeff. And then, yeah, obviously he finally became the voice of the voiceless, and the pipe bomb promo, and like that's where the explosion happened. But yeah, it's very cool to see him back. I'm very interested to see how well he comes back to wrestling. I'm sure it's like riding a bike, like it comes back to you, and he's got some time. Obviously, if he hasn't been training already, I'm sure he has. Before going against Darby on the 5th, I'm interested to see how his ring work is. Excuse me, after all this time. So where do we go from here with Punk after Darby? Because RIP, Darby's losing. Let's be honest. Where does Punk go from here? I talked about this not last week's episode of the podcast, but the week before. I talked about AEW Burnout. How, like, they're bringing in everyone and their mom to be part of AEW. That's a big name. And it kind of leaves the rest of the locker room roster behind in the dust. And maybe they're not getting the storylines or time that they were at the beginning of AEW. And how it can be a bad thing. With Punk coming in, obviously he's got a lot of notoriety behind him and fandom. Like, does he just jump to the top? Is this similar to a Christian Cage route? No offense to Christian, excuse me, sorry. And then you get rumors of Daniel Bryan, or on the indies known as Bryan Danielson, showing up at All Out or soon after. We're getting rumors of Bray Wyatt, or maybe not the Fiend because that's a WWE product, but Bray Wyatt showing up. Obviously, we talked about last topic, Adam Cole. Where's he going if his contract's up? Like, all these talents, great to have. Awesome. Of course, they pull people in. People love to see them, but like, it's another factor of like, if you just keep bringing everyone in, especially in a short time frame of weeks, maybe months, it's like the turnaround is so fast. You don't there's no substance there. There's nothing being built. So that's my fear for bringing these people in. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what's next for Punk. I like that him and Darby are doing something, because this Darby's been on the upswing of like, let's build Darby. This will do well for him, even in a loss, of just putting him with Punk. So I'm fine with that. So maybe Punk decides to go this route. I mean, Christian Cage has kind of done that with Jungle Boy. They haven't feuded or fought against each other except for that one battle royale. Like, but they're working together, and we've built Jungle Boy up. So this is just another like boost to him to go with Christian. So maybe Punk will be that facet for Darby now, but maybe for somebody else, whoever's next. If that's what we're doing, fine. That's smart. Do that. Use your seasoned talent to build up someone who is fresher, newer talent. Totally fine with that. I just don't want it to be all the new signees, the big names, are just the top, and no one else is there with them that's newer, quote unquote, or like not as well known, if that makes sense. If we're doing the balancing act of both, okay. Hopefully at some point it doesn't lose its excitement factor just because so many people are coming back as well. But yeah, that's been another episode of the Wait What Are We Talking About podcast. My name is Bret, aka Enigma 9011. I appreciate you guys hanging out today. If you want to catch the podcast live, you can go over to twitch.tv/Enigma9011 every other Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can join the chat like Mrs. G and Lady in Wonderland did today. If you're a subscriber over there, we'd love to have you. If you can't catch it live, that's A-okay. You can go over to YouTube and SoundCloud the very next week, where it's broken up topic by topic and put as one big video and MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, hashtag ad merch store. Get all of your swag over there. T-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand. Support us. It'd be greatly appreciated. So that's episode 99 in the bag. Got the big one. Big 100. Big 100 next time. So hopefully I'll see you guys back for that. Hopefully you guys can check out some old podcasts. Let me know what your favorite moments are. But I appreciate you guys giving this a watch, giving this a listen. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.